If you follow the Firth of Forth out of Edinburgh, you find yourself among the best golf courses in the world. With Muirfield, North Berwick, Renaissance, and Musselburgh, it's easy to see why this is known as Scotland's Golf Coast. But it's far more than the historic links and open venues. You cannot go wrong with any of East Lothian's courses. In today's video, I take on the number 3 course at Gullane, and it brought the Scottish magic. Welcome back to the channel. Hole 1 is a 335-yard par 4. Again, I'm playing a quota game. I need 21 points today. If this is your first time at the channel, I get points based on how I do. 4 points for a birdie, 2 for a par, 1 for a bogey. And I have to meet a quota of 21 points on this course. My drive went a little bit right, and at this point I'd been in Scotland for about 9 days, so I had the punch shot down. Thought I hit this one well, but it kind of rolled left of the green. Took the old Musselburgh iron and knocked something up there. I had a really good look at par, and as you can see, it's pretty windy. I just missed, but I tapped in for a bogey. That's 1 point. Moving on to hole 2, it's a 140-yard par 3. This is really nerve-wracking. There was a threesome in front of me, and they asked me to come play with them, which I was super glad to do. But then you have to step up and hit a shot. I actually hit a pretty decent one here, and I end up on the right side of the green, and then I have this putt for a birdie. And of course that happens, and they think I can actually golf. Way to set the bar way too high. What I loved about this round was this was the only time I actually got to play with people from Scotland. The rest of the time I was with American tourists, or I was playing by myself, so this was a lot of fun. They were playing a game, they were members here, and I was really fortunate to be able to play with them. It was just an amazing experience. They're great people. Hit my drive into the right rough, and knocked a little wedge out of there. Probably should have been a little more than a wedge. Found myself in this bunker. I just had to hack something out. It's actually a pretty good one, and gave myself this look at par. Just burned the edge, that's another point. You cross the road to get to hole 4, which is only a 245-yard par 4, but you can't really tell here, it is straight uphill. So I can get it out there about 240, no chance I was driving this green. And you'll see in a little bit how hilly it was. See that ball there? Someone's trying to hit up on top, and watch it just come rolling straight back. I was afraid of that, so I didn't take wedge, because if I chunked it, you could see the wind, you could see the slope. I just wanted to make sure I got something up on the green. So I was probably 20 yards short and just took a putter and mashed it up there. Had an outside look at birdie. You're kind of up on top of the world at this point. This is such a cool hole. I'd cozy something up there pretty nice, and it leaves me a tap in for par. So I started bogey, birdie, bogey, par, and I'm off to, a pretty decent start. Looks like I can meet quota. Hole 5 has an elevated tee box. It is pretty straight away after that, par 4. You can see from my pants, it's pretty windy, and I start this offline left, and it just goes way offline. Ends up in some pretty deep rough. Unfortunately, I did not get a video of my second shot. I hit something over the green, left me with this little putt, knock it up onto the green, leaving myself about 4 feet, and I can't get it done. That's a bogey, but at least we're stacking points. The sad thing about filming these rounds is you can't tell from the camera how cool and elevated and undulated these courses are. This tee box is below the previous green, and you're playing back up towards where that elevated tee box was. Looks pretty flat here, but the fairway runs from left to right, so mine hits the fairway but runs down into this rough. I'm able to muscle something out of there up short of the green, and again, it was windy enough, and you're kind of up on this basically mountaintop, so anytime I could take putter, I did take putter. I was pretty happy with that one. It left me another one of these pretty makeable par putts. Unfortunately, I kind of run it by again. Haven't really made much today, except for that sick birdie putt. But I tap it in for a bogey. If you look at the hole map there, it's got those 3 bunkers in the middle of the fairway. Those are right where the driver lands. You can't see the fairway from this camera angle because it is straight downhill. Like, you're playing off the mountaintop now. It's a fantastic hole, fantastic shot. Everyone told me not to go for it. But, you know, I went for it in crush driver and end up right in those bunkers. Hit a pretty good one out, but they're probably like 40 yards short. It's the worst shot in golf, that kind of, you know, long bunker shot. I got it up to the front of the green and hit a pretty good putt. Just had 2 feet to clean up for my par. Hole 8's a par 3, and what I want you to do here is focus on the contact I make with the ball, or don't make with the ball. Yeah, that was as chunky as it comes, and so I, you know, still got it out there, but I'm left kind of in the wilderness with this wedge. I just focus on making good contact and hit it up there pretty nice. I'm actually really happy with that. If you've been watching my videos, you know I have the chipping yips. So there was something about the links land in Scotland that, you know, sandy, firm, it just kind of spoke to my game. And so I was able to hit shots over there and score a lot better. Absolutely loved it. It's, you know, just a lot better than American golf. And now I have this kind of outside look at a par. Started outside the hole, it never moves. Tap in for a bogey. That's probably fair. Finishing off the outward 9 is a 323-yard par 4. It kind of bends to the right a little, so I aim down the right side because I've been pulling stuff left, and of course, I hit it right. So I find myself in the rough again. And this one's tough because I'm about 90 yards out, and I take what I think is a gap wedge, which has an A on it on my clubs. I actually took an 8-iron, so I chunk it, but it's way too much club, so it rolls up to about 15 feet, and that happens. What a way to finish the 9. So with that second birdie, I now have 17 of my quota points, and I went out in 37. So we're officially on break 80 watch. Thank you so much. If you've been watching these, let me know in the comments if you like these quota videos, me going to different courses. You know, I'm trying to get some more stuff on the docket to get to. Hole 10 is a 445-yard par 4, so I hit driver, and then I'm hitting 3-wood. It's also, with the wind out there, I'm not even getting close. I take putter from way too far out, but, you know, keep it in play, don't chunk anything. I was afraid to use a wedge, and it worked out pretty well. Hit it to maybe 8 feet. And, hey, man, that's how you make par on a 445-yard par 4. After the front 9, the 3 people I was playing with invited me to join a match. Unfortunately, I'm a 13 handicap that just shot a 37 in front of them. And then I do this. That was tough. The lady behind me, keep an eye on her because she's an absolute gamer. I hit a pretty good chip up there, which leaves me a par putt. Turns out it doesn't really matter. I cozy it up there and I tap in for a par. You see my partner in the blue there. He lines up his birdie putt. And he jars it. But it doesn't matter because that lady made a 3-net 1. She made a net birdie on the hole before, so they are now 2 up. Hole 12 is a downhill dogleg right par 4. You can see the trees out there. I guess there used to be another tree that was the aiming point, and the members were really angry when it got taken away. I hit very far left into the rough and just try and get something out of there, back up the hill. It kind of skips off the cart path. And, you know, taking putter out of the rough. Again, I don't want to chip, but it gives me a putt at par. I don't make it. That lady makes a net par, and they are now 3 up. But I met the quota, so there we go. Hole 13 is a long par 3, 180 yards, and today it's a case study in attitude while golfing. I take hybrid and cold top it. Goes about 40 yards into the rough. So I grab maybe a 9-iron and try and punch something up there. Don't get enough of it, and I'm struggling. Look at the body language here. I take putter and mash it probably 20 feet past the hole. Again, I look super dejected. I'm left with this long putt. And you can't really see it from there, but it goes in, and that 4 actually ties the hole, so we're off the losing train. Hole 14 is the only par 5 on the course. It says it's 427 yards, but it's straight uphill, straight into the wind. This hole was an absolute brute. I thought it was going to be easy to get there in 2. It was impossible. I hit a pretty decent drive down the right side. The fairway just kind of rolled into the rough. Took 3-wood and hit that really well too. And again, this is only 427 yards. I'm still short. I chip, and for as much as I said I'm afraid of chipping, I think all the chips have been good in this one. Leaves me a long birdie putt uphill. I don't give it enough. And now I need this par to tie the hole. I don't do it. That's a bogey, and we are now dormy with 4 to play. Hole 15 is the most unique hole I played in Scotland. It is a kind of medium-length par 3, but it's straight downhill in like a half pipe. So you see me take hybrid and basically just chip it out there. It goes straight down the hill and runs all the way to the back of the green. Just a crazy shot, almost like mini golf. I make a putt, and I'm not even going to talk about this because that ball that's super close, that is that lady putting for another 3 net 1. We end up giving it to her, and we get boat raced 5 and 3 due to 2 net aces. Just a traumatic match for the boys. So I'm crushing quota, and I got annihilated in the match, but 80 watch is still on. We'll see, can I draw on the inspiration of my quota score, or will I be taken down by what just happened in the match? I flared this drive so far right, took me forever to find it. Finally I do in this just savannah, and I hit one out. I'm still hitting hybrid. This is my 3rd into a par 4. That one's not good. It goes pretty far right. But it leaves me with maybe 20 yards. So I chip up onto the green, and I have a very, very, very outside look at a 5. Hit it up there close. I didn't get me tapping it in, unfortunately. It's a double anyway, 0 points. Hole 17 is a little bit shorter, but a very undulated fairway. I kind of pull this one left, so I've got the, army cadence going on, right, left, right, left. I'm in the rough, and I, tried really hard to compress it, keep it under the wind, and it just rolls through kind of this turtleback green. I'm over the back. I put it up close, and this leaves me with what I think is a pretty easy par putt. And it just stays right on the edge, tap it in, that's a bogey. And so now I need a par on 18, this par 3, to shoot 79. For the first time this 9, I make decent contact on a par 3, but it goes left and leaves me kind of behind this bunker. I aim up left of the pin, and leave myself with a very makeable par putt. It doesn't happen, and I shoot 80 on the money. So, all in all, I had this amazing day. It was fun playing golf with actual Scottish people. We were moving around fast. We're having a lot of fun. We played a match. And I think the most important thing about going to golf in Scotland is understanding that golf's a funny game, right? I killed the quota. I didn't break 80 in heartbreaking fashion, and honestly, until I made this video, I didn't know any of that. All I knew was that I had a great time with these people. They took me out for beers afterwards, and when you're in Scotland, especially East Lothian, go out, find something off the beaten track. I made this tee time the day before, and it's, I wouldn't say better than playing the big bucket list courses, but I think it's a lot more fun. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.